Let's be honest. Over these past couple weeks, Nebraska recruiting has been silent. Really, nothing has been going on. But with that being said, the season's almost here. And when it begins, you know what that means. Husker recruiting will heat up faster than you know it. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a big time update. I'm going to call my shot. The next prospects who will commit to Nebraska, both in the 2026 and the 2027 classes, a 4-star linebacker who's on the verge of flipping, a 4-star defensive back, some elite borderline 5-stars in the 27 class, and so much more. So really quick, this video is loaded from start to finish. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, the season's almost here. If you're a diehard Nebraska fan and are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? For daily content, talk favorite talking Huskers, it's no brainer. Take 2 seconds, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. Let's just be honest. Nebraska's 2026 recruiting class, it's been very silent for about a month now, and for good reason. There's really nothing going on in the summer when you get to the dog days of July, but when the season gets here, in about 2 weeks, less than that even, you know what happens. All the visits start happening, all the flips start to get going in Nebraska. They're going to make a push to get a last-second top 20 class. And right now, our class just isn't good enough. We ranked dead last in the Big Ten. It's 70th in America, only 2 total defensive commits. But that's going to change pretty quickly here. So I want to get things started with the prospects that I expect to commit to Nebraska very, very soon in that 26 class. And then we'll get to 27 later in the video. Some borderline 5-stars. We're going to make it official very quick here. So let's get things started with the class of 2026. My predictions for Nebraska's next commitments. I'm going to go to a 4-star edge rusher to get things going, who's currently committed to Syracuse, coming out of Miami, Florida. You already know who this is, Mr. Cameron Wilson. Now, I've made my stake very clear on Cameron for a very long time. He's going to get flipped to Nebraska when it's all said and done for a multitude of reasons. He has a great relationship with both Rob Dvorak and Philip Simpson. He wants to get out of the state of Florida, and he wants to play for a winner. And I honestly expect him to flip by the end of the summer. Fran Brown, credit to him over there at Syracuse. He's done a very good job recruiting. But if I want to be very honest with you, I think Nebraska's going to win this season. And I don't think Syracuse will. They lost a lot of production both on offense, on defense. They lost their starting quarterback. They lost their number 1 wide receiver. I think Syracuse is going to be in line to win maybe 6 or 7 games. Okay. Nebraska, on the other hand, we're going to win 9. We're going to win 10. And Cameron Wilson is going to visit likely for Michigan. So we're sitting here in October, in November, and Nebraska's having a very good season, and we're ranked, and Syracuse isn't. Cameron's going to say, why am I going to stick with Syracuse? They're a school that's very far away from home. It's up there in cold New York. I'm going to go to Nebraska. They treat me great over there, and I'm going to play right away. So Cameron Wilson, I do think is going to flip when it's all said and done. I've been very consistent about that take. You know, at the end of the day, we need more speed coming off the edge. He's 6'5". He's incredibly shifty, incredibly fast. He doesn't weigh a lot, but he has all the measurable traits, things you can't teach. You can put on weight later, but you can't teach the long arms. Again, the twitchiness, the NFL combine, and things that are going to be in the top percentile, right? So Cameron Wilson, somebody, Nebraska, they've been going after for a while. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to flip. I'm going to say by October. I think it's going to happen by October, but I'm very confident about that one. And then let's go to another linebacker coming out of the state of Florida. None other than Jordan Campbell, 4-star, also coming out of Miami Northwestern High School, 6'2", 220 pounds. Now, his recruitment, it's been wild to follow, just to say the least, right? He's been committed to Miami for a long time now. He shut down his recruitment officially 2 months ago. He said that he was 100% locked in. Yeah, that didn't last very long. He's now going to visit Nebraska this fall along with Missouri. But I've made it very clear that, again, for the exact same reasons Nebraska's going to flip Cameron Wilson, it's also going to happen here with Jordan Campbell because he has that relationship with Rod Dvorak. Nebraska, we've been going after him for a very long time. He visited for the spring game, and he was very impressed. So Nebraska, again, we've been recruiting him for a long time. Relationships matter. And once again, Miami, who says they have the season people are expecting? They barely missed the playoff last year. They lose their potential Heisman guy in Cameron Ward, who's the number 1 overall draft pick. They bring in Carson Beck, who, I'm not going to lie, I don't think Carson Beck's very good. So Miami, they're going to be solid, but they're going to probably win maybe 8-9 games this year. They're going to be on a downward trajectory. Nebraska's going to be an upward. So if we continue to build our relationship, if he has a phenomenal visit, likely for Michigan, very well could be a guy who flips by signing day, and I think it will happen, especially when we start offering a lot of NIL and we have that winning season. It's going to be a done deal by signing day. So I'm pretty confident about those 2 guys. Now let's get to 2 players in the 27 class who are a little bit more wild cards, but Nebraska definitely has an opportunity to flip them Darius is somebody who visited Nebraska for an official visit pretty much last second in June. It wasn't expected, but he kind of showed up on campus and had a really good time. Now, Colorado's been trying to flip him. Syracuse's been trying to flip him. It's definitely not a done deal with him and the Seminoles. But with that being said, great relationship with the coaching staff. The ability to play right away at Nebraska. We love these guys coming out of Miami, playing on defense, whether it's on the D-line, linebacker core, safety core. We have a great Flow-Nebraska connection building. So Darius once again will visit early on in the season. He's aiming for that Akron game, if not Michigan. If he has a great time, again, we're looking at Florida State, who's going to be bad this year. Again, that shouldn't be a shocker. Syracuse, we already talked about them. I don't think they're going to be very good. And then Colorado's not going to be very good. So Nebraska's going to be the best squad of those bunch. And we're going to offer enough in NIL. Another guy who I just see no reason. Why wouldn't he flip? Why wouldn't he flip to the Huskers? So I have my eyes out for Darius. But we desperately need some players in the secondary because we only got Danny Odom right now. We need probably two more. We need a boundary corner and we need a safety. And then we're going to load up in the secondary in the 27 class. And then last but not least, before we talk about the 27 class, the guys who I expect to commit very soon in that cycle, I'm going to go to the biggest wild card, but this is a top 100 player in America, 6'3" wide receiver, coming out of Texas. Zion Robinson are currently committed to Michigan, somebody who visited Nebraska at the very end of June. Nebraska, they were really only recruiting him for a couple months, and he loved Lincoln. He loved the Huskers. He said, you know what? If Nebraska, if they were recruiting me for longer, I'd probably give them a bigger look. Now, he committed to Michigan, and I'm not going to lie to you, that commitment was very surprising to me. If you're an elite wide receiver, why would you go to Michigan? When was the last time they had a receiver have over 1,000 receiving yards? It's been a very long time. I mean, it's been over a decade, that's for sure. Okay, so why would Zion Robinson commit there? I don't know. So again, it is a wild card. His dad has some connections to the state of Nebraska. That's why he visited as well. I'm just saying, hey, we're going to give Zion Robinson an invite. You can come on by for that Nebraska-Michigan game. You can be on the sideline. You can watch your team that you're committed to play. And if Nebraska ends up winning that one, hey, we'll see if you can change your mind. Okay? That's what I'm saying. If I'm Matt Rhule, I'm saying, hey, you know what? Come on visit for that game. And we'll see what happens. So Zion Robinson, I do expect Nebraska to land one more wide receiver. Whether it's him, whether it's maybe a Nasir Rankin you flip last second, whether it's even a Ryan Mosley, right? I think Nebraska will land one more wide receiver, but there's somebody I have my eyes out for. And then really quick, going over the guys I don't expect to flip to Nebraska. I know I'm going to get questions about Mikhail Blade, Titan Davis, Vowden Sony, right? Even like a Devin Jackson. I think we're out of it for much all those guys. And I doubt we're going to land any more players on offense. If we do, it's probably going to be another wide receiver, that being Zion Robinson. All right, let's get to the 27 class for the Huskers because already as it stands, man, it's great. We already have 2 5-stars, in my opinion, Torrey Pittman and Trey Taylor, and we're just going after more. But the guys I'm about to talk about are the players I think are going to commit soon, before the end of the year, before maybe December, right? These guys I think are going to make it known pretty quickly. They're going to commit to Nebraska. I want to get things started with Tay Ellis. Now, this is very evidently Nebraska's number one wide receiver target. They sent him a personal video a couple weeks ago. Trey Taylor's been peer recruiting him on social media for months now. So Tay Ellis, it's clear that Nebraska, we are the favorite. He's 6 foot tall, 170. I'm just going to sell you on pretty quickly here. He's physical. He plays the best talent in the state of Texas. Great route running, which you don't normally see from these prospects at 16 years old. His route running is very polished. He can beat man coverage, and he's somebody who's going to do everything we ask him in, on and off the field. He's a physical blocker. He can fight through man coverage, fight through press. So Tay Ellis, man, he checks a lot of boxes for Nebraska. There's a reason we've been recruiting him very hard for a long time now. If we have a successful year this season, I see no reason why he's not going to make it official and say, you know what, I'm locked in with the Huskers. So Tay Ellis, he gets a nod there. And again, he has every offer you can imagine too. I mean, you got Texas in there. You got Miami, Ohio State, USC, Oregon. And Nebraska likely going to land him pretty quickly. Then you get Cameron Wagner, who I think also will commit to Nebraska by the end of December. Now he's 6'6", 300 pounds. Nebraska is clearly the odds-on favorite. He's one of Trey Taylor's best friends, also out of Illinois. He wants to block for him. He's visited Nebraska 3 times already. Now, I won't lie to you. There was a headline that came out a couple weeks ago, and Nebraska fans were freaking out. He's not visiting Nebraska this season. He's visiting Notre Dame, Ohio State, a couple other big-time schools, but he's not coming to Nebraska. And a lot of people were thinking, we're out of it for him. It's actually the opposite. Nebraska's by far the favorite, and that's why he's not visiting us, because he's already seen us a million times. He knows how he feels. He knows Nebraska could be his next destination. But he's basically saying, you know what? I'm going to try out these other schools. I'm going to give him an opportunity, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to sit here in November, and I'm going to say, you know what? Ohio State, they were great. Notre Dame, they were great. But I like Nebraska the most, and it isn't close. And I'm going to go commit to the Big Red. So I think Cameron Wagner is going to make it official by the end of December. I'm very confident about that. He's going to join his boy Trey Taylor in Lincoln. And then last but not least, let's go over to an Omaha Central product. And this is my favorite player in the class. And you don't even have to look at the rankings. Like, he's not a 5-star. He's not a 4-star yet. I do think he will be 4-star. I mean, this is Kaahaaina Haney. 5'10", 200 pounds. I compare him to Marshawn Lynch 2.0. I mean, you just watch his film. I mean, it's incredible. Let's just pull up this film. I mean, it's unbelievable. He embraces the contact. All the time, Nebraska fans talk about this big, bruising, power back, bell cow running back. And we have the opportunity to get one. We have an offer on the table for this guy. He's out of our own backyard. He's a teammate of a 5-star commit. Let's get this guy. He is incredible. And not only will he lay the boom on you, not only will he truck you, stiff arm you, but he has great speed. He has great hands. I saw a video of him not too long ago. He had a one-handed catch in a 7v7. Like, he's great. He's a great player. He's going to blow up pretty quickly. Like, you look at the offers, he got some good offers. He got Wisconsin in there, a couple Power 4 schools. But I expect after this campaign, you're going to get some SEC schools in there for Kaahaaina Haney. Okay, you're going to get some ACC schools, some other Big Ten squads. So you got to move quickly. Get him in this class right now. He's special. I love Kaahaaina Haney's game, man. He's exciting to watch. So I'm going to put him there because I do think Nebraska will move quickly. I do think that he's going to want to pair up with Torrey Pittman. Those guys are best buds. So I do believe he'll commit to Nebraska probably by December. The Huskers are going to move quick. So, all right, guys, those are my predictions for Nebraska's next commits in the 27 and the 26 recruiting class. Again, talking about the 26 class really quickly, it's crazy how different these cycles are. Like, 26 is all doom and gloom. Recruiting doesn't matter. You know, people are saying that. They're saying, oh, classes don't matter. Stars don't matter. And then the 27 class, everybody's going crazy. Like, oh my goodness, it looks great. We have multiple 5-stars. Like, let's be consistent here. Recruiting does matter. And the 27 class is going to be great. And we're going to land some 5-stars down the line if we win this season, if we're, not alpha enough in NIL. But the 26 class is the exact same way. Like, there are some concerns. You got to land some top prospects. You can't take off classes, right? You can't say, okay, we're going to have a great 27 class, or we're just not going to try in the 26 class. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You got to have good classes every single year. But it just depends on winning more than anything, and it depends on NIL. So I have the belief at the end of the day that when Nebraska wins the 9 games this season or 10 games this season, and the boosters get involved and people start to get really excited about the program again, there's no reason why Nebraska's not going to land a top class in the 26 cycle. Like, there's going to be a lot of flips late. Again, you're going to flip a guy like Jordan Campbell, Cameron Wilson. You might even get involved with Valance. I mean, who knows? So I have that belief, but it just stems on winning. So I'm not freaking out about the 26 class just yet. But as for the 27 class, it's all about getting as many commits as soon as possible, because those commits are going to peer recruit, and it's going to build momentum, and it's going to snowball from there. So exciting times for Nebraska recruiting, but we have a lot to talk about going into this year because it's going to be very active. So, all right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below about everything. I want to hear what you have to say. Hey, if you made this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go big red, go Met Rule, and I will see you in the next one.